Well, we're back in Washington at the boat, and she's out of the water. And as hopefully you can see from the video, she's been washed and waxed for the first time in
2.5 years. Welcome to Sailing Out of Sight. We're Craig and Diane, and this is our stowaway Bonnie. Please remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Bottoms up.
But the main reason that the boat is out of the water is we had a shaft seal failure. We caught it before it was an issue. I mean, we caught it sitting in the marina. But we'll show you more about it. But we had the shaft seal started leaking, and we had to replace it. So the boat has to come out of the water to do that. While we were out of the water, we decided to have a buff and a wax, compound and wax on the boat. And it really looks good, don't you think?
I do. I've been thinking it needed it for a long time. We were rather oxidized.
We were oxidized. Keeping wax on it is not just about aesthetics, but it helps the gel coat and paint hold up better to the UV rays. We got the shaft seal all changed out, and this is the old one. Let's look and see how bad a shape it was. Wow, that bellows is completely gone and eaten up. We never use any chemicals anywhere down in that part of the engine. So we're thinking maybe what happened is just oil. So this was an oil lubricated shaft seal. What we're thinking is maybe the leaking on the outside edge of that hose that fed oil to it, the oil may have leaked out and gotten on this rubber, and this rubber may not have been rated for oil, but that rubber is just decomposed completely. I mean, it's gone. Yeah, you can see how on the inside of that clamp, it's got gooey rubber all over it. Yeah, that's the bellows. This is the, I don't know what that stuff is in there. That's no wino. Yeah, it's just completely destroyed. And then, of course, as I said, the reason we chose to just replace it completely and not try to repair it is that by the time you buy new faces, you're looking at a whole new setup anyway. This is a Norskott oil lubricated dripless shaft seal. What we went with was the PYI water lubricated dripless shaft seal. It looks like it's a much simpler design. That's one reason we chose it. And then we talked to 3 other people who have used the PYIs for 20, 30 years, and they've been happy users. So we think it was a reasonable decision. So yeah, this baby's going in the trash can. We've been in Washington almost 2 years, and
Not because we wanted to be.
right. So you might as well get into why we ended up there for 2 years.
We arrived in Washington to put the boat out on the hard and do a few projects, but the main reason was we needed to go back to Houston because I needed knee replacement. Enough said about that. While I was recuperating, Craig decided to start working on our new bimini cover because we had the garage for him to work in. Worked out great. So then, get my knee done. We come back to Washington, and Craig is working on putting the new prop on the boat. And he has a medical emergency one evening, and he ends up in the hospital for a few days in North Carolina. And because of that, we have to go back to Houston for him to see a cardiologist. So we get all that taken care of.
We're not going to go into big detail on all this. It's kind of surface level because for everybody else in the world, it doesn't matter. It's just why we were delayed so long. So
Yes.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So we get that taken care of. We come back to the boat to start taking care of stuff, thinking, now we're going to go back to the Bahamas. We're going to actually go to the Bahamas. And we find out that Craig has some more medical issues, which I'll let him talk about.
Following the AFib event, and it was my second one, they did the ablation, which is a medical procedure. And so that took a while to get through that. Following the AFib and the ablation, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
So we scheduled surgery, got that completed. He was cleared from that. Everything looked good. We come back to the boat to start working on a few things and get a call that he needs to do follow-up radiation. So we go back to Houston, Galveston, Houston.
Following the prostatectomy, there still was high-level PSA, and what they told us, it was microscopic. There was no spreading, no tumors, no nothing. But because there was microscopic indications of cancer, they wanted to do radiation to try to wipe it out so that it didn't come back. So, short story, prostatectomy, and then radiation treatments.
Which took a while.
Which took a while.
Yeah.
To get through all that. Mm-hmm. So now we're back at the boat. The medical stuff, theoretically, is all out of the way for everything that we know about.
Yep.
And so we're back reintroducing ourselves to the cruising lifestyle.
There you go.
And to do that, that led to a lot of boat projects that we kind of knew were coming.
Some of them we knew were coming, but some of them it was just when a boat sits, things go bad. And if you're not using them, they're going to quit working. Like you'll see our oven quit working again.
You'll begin to see now all the boat projects that were waiting for us when we decided to go sailing.
A little bit of history. Our oven over here, which is original to the boat, wasn't working when we got the boat. And we were able to find a rebuilt thermocouple for the oven that worked for about a year. Then it went out. They replaced it with another rebuilt one because this is an obsolete oven. Can't find parts to it. So the second obsolete part that was rebuilt has now failed. So we would be on our third. So we have decided to give up the Ghost and get a new range. Cha-ching! We're taking this antique out and replacing it with a Dickinson Marine 3-burner and oven. That is, of course, a gimbal. And we will be replacing the gas lines to it as well. And anyway, I'm excited. Be a lot of skinned knuckles. Probably a lot of cuss words. But we'll get it done.
Well, she got it out. I was on the bottom, and she was able to lift it up. And it's now, it's now in the cockpit. All we have to do now is get it off the boat without dropping it in the water, hopefully.
I think I hold on to it, so it's just my fingertips.
As soon as I reach over here, look out.
been one heck of a day and I'm exhausted. I'm kidding. I didn't do much of anything except hold stuff. Anyway, and when I say we, Craig, finished the oven install. So we have got a 3-burner Mediterranean, that's the, I guess, model, Dickinson Marine, and it has a lift up, and it's got a really deep oven back in there, and it's got a broiler. So anyway, it's got lots of safety features our other one didn't have, so that makes it nice. Now, if I would only cook.
Who needs safety?
Well,
We live on a boat.
That's right. But we have checked the gas. The gas, it's all burning. No leaks, nothing. But one of the tips.
So we used a leak detector.
Yes.
An electronic leak detector. We didn't use soap and bubbles. I 100% know how to use soapy water and bubbles. I'm more on the technology side.
And it has never failed us. So.
Although soap and water does work.
Yes, it does. We've used that in the past, yes. So, now what was I going to say? Oh, it says, do not check for leaks with an open flame.
Is there a new folding prop? New line cutters? And I need to clean this up, sand it, and get it prepared for anti-fouling paint. So that's what I'm doing. We spend a lot of time looking for crab pots, but one of these days we're going to hit one, and we're going to be glad that we have line cutters.
Craig became a seamstress, and he made us a new bimini cover. Our other one was basically mesh. When it rained more in the more rain came in the cockpit than stayed on the outside. Anyway, Craig made us a new bimini cover and full enclosure. That being said, he did it basically in 3 different sites. He started it downstairs in the garage while I was recuperating from knee surgery to get the bimini done. Had no idea if it would fit when we got back to the boat because we couldn't measure as he was going along. But fit like a glove. Second stage was to start our side curtains, and he used the park bench out in the little park area at McCotter's Marina, fighting ants, bugs, mosquitoes, and anytime the rain came, you had to scramble to put away the sailrite and all the materials.
But I will say, probably the most aggravating part of that was the squirrels throwing nuts at me.
Yeah,
that got old.
There's a lot of squirrels. But then the last time, which was great, we used the covered patio at the Tiki Hut there at McCotter's Marina. They allowed us to use that.
One of the more important things we need to do before we leave is make sure the outboard is running and running reliably. It's been almost just a few weeks short of a year since the last time we ran the outboard. So I'm going to have to give it a check out and see if it's going to be good or if I need to do something. This thing is covered in spider webs. So you'll probably notice in some of these videos either that I have my left leg is really huge or that I'm wearing a compression sock. And the reason for that is I now have a clown leg or a cartoon leg. It seems that the radiation treatments did result in some lymphedema, which means the lymphatic system is not working well, and fluid collection happens. So luckily it's just my left leg, but if you see me and it looks like I have a cartoon leg, clown leg, that's what that is.
We are good on oil, so that's a win. I got rid of all the gas that had been stored in this gas can for a year. So we have fresh gas. Man, did we get spider webs in everything. There's even a spider that crawled down inside of that hole and built a web. That's crazy. Actually, the spider's still there. Dead, but he's still there. Don't really want to run him through my carburetor. There. I think that got most all of it out. It's a big old spider egg ball. They're everywhere. It's actually pretty easy to start for setting it for a year. Forward and reverse work. I think we're good to go. I don't know if that could have gone any easier, to be honest with you. Another unplanned project was that we had a burnout on our short power cord at the receptacle on the boat. So that required that we get a new receptacle to fit on the boat and new cords.
Ka-ching! Craig got a new toy from Precision Sales. It is an asymmetrical spinnaker that we custom designed. And Lord help us, we gotta learn how to use it.
We are now in the park. Craig has decided that it would be better to put the asymmetrical into the sock, laying it out on the ground. We have just enough wind that could be a problem trying to do it hanging up on the boat in the marina. So we're gonna get started.
how you put an asymmetrical sail into a sock. We are ready to go. We're more than ready to go. Problem is, we have a very low tide. So we're not going to be going anywhere till the tide comes back in. So the tides here on the Pimlico are wind driven, and we've got a southwest wind. So anything west tends to push the water out. So we're probably going to be here till the wind moves back to the south. But that may be another day before that changes. But for the time being, as you can see, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. It's now 5 o'clock in the evening, and we are still waiting on tide so that we may leave the marina. It looks like at this point, tomorrow is our next best chance. You can still see the barnacles. The tide, I know for a fact, is less than 5 feet at this point. So we'll be waiting some more.
Finally, the tide's right. It's been almost 2 years. We've loved McCotter's Marina. They've been more than helpful. We've really liked Washington, North Carolina, but it's time to move on. We got to get moving.
It's time for some new adventures.
Woohoo! Thanks for watching, guys. If you're liking our videos, hit the thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring the little bell. Bottoms up! Thanks for watching.